Hey, I'm Don with Santa Cruz Bikes and Marketing. We're here at the Santa Cruz factory in Santa Cruz, California. We're going to take you through a little tour and show you how we make bikes here. So come on through the front door. This is our showroom. Normally it's full of bikes, but because it's Sea Otter weekend, we've got all those bikes packed up and we're headed down to Laguna Seca, which is about an hour and a half down the coast. We do have our factory demo here. We send out about 3,000 people on bike rides every year. Send them up the coast to Wilder Ranch State Park. We charge 20 bucks for that, but then we donate that money back to the trail, so it works out pretty good. We'll go on back and take a look at the factory now. If you're ever in town, you can come by, check out some t-shirts and jerseys, come take a tour of the factory in person, or go for a bike ride. So this is our assembly floor. Everybody's just getting back from lunch, but we'll give you a little tour and show you how a bike goes from being an order to being a complete bike that shows up at your local shop. So we'll start with the frame building area. What we do here is generally all our dual suspension bikes come as a swing arm and a main triangle. What the guys on this line do is assemble the rear of the bike to the front of the bike. So all these guys here are, well, we've got a couple hardtails going in right now. They put all the smaller bits on the frame. See here we're finishing assembling the shock to the frame. And what we do is we take linkages that come from over in this area and we press in all the bearings here, and those linkages go over to these guys and they assemble the bikes front to back. Forrest is our tallest bike assembler, as far as I know. So after the frame's assembled, it all starts with an order that comes in through our production office, and that generates a pick list that shows every single part that's on the bike. So we've got a Hightower C275 Plus bike right here. The frame's in there, but you see that there's no parts. We custom built these carts, and if you take a look at the top here, you'll see that there's kind of a bin or an area for everything. So fork goes here, shifters and brakes, seat post, and where we get those things is what we call the supermarket. So an assembler will take that cart, we'll catch up to him here, but as he goes down this aisle, he'll pick the handlebars from over here according to what's on that pick list, or a bottom bracket. We've got some brakes over here. And as the cart makes its way down this aisle, it gets more and more full of the things that are going to go on that bike. So when we get down to the corner here, this is where they install the headset. If we need to press one in, we've got a press right here. But as you can see from these bikes on the cart here, we filled in all those spaces. We've got the rear derailleur, the shifters, the brakes, the grips, almost everything you need for a complete bike. What we pick up on the next aisle is the forks and the wheels. So make the turn here. You can see that the fork has been picked for this bike. Got a RockShox Pike on this one. This bike has not been picked yet, so they're all staged in these boxes. And we come over here to where the steer tubes are cut, and the crown race is pressed in, and then the bike is sent on down the line for wheel assembly and then final assembly. So here in wheel assembly, we got rotors, cassettes, tires, sealant, all gets put into the wheels, and then back onto the carts, and that kind of preps the bike for almost final assembly. Which happens here is all the cockpit parts, the handlebar assemblies are added on. So the shifters and the brake levers get added here, and again back onto the cart. And then we go on down the line here, bottom bracket and cranks are installed. And as we continue to go down, the bike gets fully assembled. So we get down here to packaging. And these guys are putting the bike into the package the way that your dealer will receive it. And then they ship them on out the door. And this is how the bike goes from being an order to being on your shop floor. So now we're going to head into the wheel building area. We build all of our wheels for our bikes here as well. The reason that we assemble them here is, you know, all of our bikes are built to order, so it's really good for us. We've got 27.5 wheels, 29 wheels, we've got different widths, plus, whatever. It gives us a lot of flexibility in manufacturing, so we can build up the exact rim with the exact hub based on the orders we have coming in, rather than having a bunch of pre-built wheels in boxes. So it also lets us employ a lot more people, so that's pretty cool too. Here's where they load the spokes into the hubs. You can see right here we've got looks like a Novatech hub, fully loaded and ready to be built into a wheel. Eventually these bins come on into the other room, get matched up with a wheel that we have on order, and we use these two lacing machines, and these guys are at it, getting the wheels all laced up in I believe a 3-cross pattern is what we got going on there. And once they do that, as you see Victor doing here, he spins it to make sure it's in round, and then what he'll do is put it onto the platform and it rolls into one of our truing machines. And these are pretty cool. If you come around here, I'll show you this. So this is one of our wheel building machines. It's got these two robotic spoke wrenches that there's a pre-programmed pattern that it goes through, and it tensions the wheel so that it comes out perfectly true. It also pre-tensions the spokes. And then the last thing it does is actually a trueness test, and it will go back and forth. It's got some laser guiding that determines whether or not the rim is actually in true, the whole wheel is in true. And the last thing that it does is measure that. If it's in true, it goes into this green slot. If it's out of true, it goes into the red slot, and it's either redone or finished by hand, which is actually what we do with all of our wheels. Go around here to JT. JT is hand finishing one of our wheels here, and this is something that we commonly do. So he's building one of our aluminum wheels. We do carbon wheels as well, but those don't have any external nipples, so we build those completely from by hand all the way up. So once these are done, they get staged back out there where we saw bike assembly, and then they're available to be built into complete bikes. So this is our test lab and our carbon lab. We don't have any tests running right now, but we've got an old Santa Cruz highball here on the test rig, and what this thing does is it cycles a load through the frame, trying to get it to break. So the guys that work in here have a pretty cool job in that they get to try and break stuff all day, which is pretty. Take a look at some of the carbon prototyping stuff we have here. This is a carbon press. It heats up. We put molds in it. I don't think there's any molds in it currently, no. But you can mold small parts in there. We've done some handlebars in there. We'll take a look at the molds down. There's some handlebar molds that we're working on, and those would go into that press, which would be loaded with, inside this refrigerator, we've got pre-preg carbon fiber, which needs to be stored cold. It gets laid up into those molds and then pressed into a carbon part. We do have the capability to do prototype frames now, so that's pretty rad that we can go direct to carbon prototypes. And then we have, we'll take a look in the engineering shop a little bit later, or in our machine shop, but these molds here are all cut in-house, so we've got the capability to do that as well. So it's a mess in here right now, but this is our carbon cutting lab. So you basically put in a CNC pattern that gets cut out on this machine, and that's what gets laid up into the molds. And we'll take a quick peek in here, but you can't, wait, let me look first. Nothing to see here, yeah. So this is our race shop, our marketing tech and engineering tech shop. Got Kelly Emmett right over there. Team Juliana SRAM assembling bikes for the team right now. That's how good she is. So we build all of our team bikes in here and send them out to our racers. So we're in our machine shop now. We've got two super talented machinists down here, Mike and John, and they build all of our prototypes. So we'll go take a look up on the wall. You can see there's a bunch of frames. Those are some of the last few bikes that we've come out with. It always starts here. Our engineering team upstairs does a drawing, and these guys can take it in a week and turn it into a rideable prototype. So what we do for, say, a model that's coming out is we develop 5 or 6 different aluminum versions. Generally, they've got an angle set and a couple different options on the links to kind of change angles and linkages, and we'll have test riders go back to back with those, and then we get down to a couple of samples that they deem as the last couple that we want to go down to, and then we finally come out to our final design. As you can see, it's a mixture of kind of high-tech CNC with more old-school machine shop work, and Mike and John, who I think are on lunch right now, kind of span that you know, that gap between technology and art form. What these guys can do with these machines is pretty remarkable. So take a closer look. Some of the old presses that we have here. Frame building table. And then you can see up here are some of the old mules of several of the old models that we've put out into the field. Probably one of the original V10s right up there, the one with the white link, is kind of identifiable. You see the beer holder on that? It's one of the main features. That's the BLT bike. It looks like a bacon, lettuce, tomato. So here's a really important part of the building, which is employee bike parking. We've got 150 people that work here. About 80 of them are in production. Almost everybody rides a bike, so either on the trails or to and from work. We've got a commute program. Yeah, Allie's must be out riding her bike right now. And you can see where the bikes hang. We actually made those hangers in the machine shop when those guys had a little bit of time on their hands. We built all that so that we could store these bikes here. So yeah, we've got a commuting incentive program for employees that can earn money towards lunch and bike parts by riding to work, so that's pretty cool. We should go in here. This is the company shower. So since we're always riding bikes and there's a lot of poison oak here, you're going to want to take a shower after you're done riding. We've got Techno in every shower. It's very important. We've got towels. We've got Rory with his shirt off. We've even got a place to wash your clothes, which is important. This is my favorite room right here. This is the employee lunchroom. We've got Ben. Ben's wanted, so he may not want to be on camera. Got kind of a full kitchen here so people could come in and make their lunch. Refrigerators, whatnot, soda machines. Got some people getting ready to go out on demo rides right now. They're all suited up. Then what we have here is there's a secret button, which may or may not be right here. And it opens it up to Joe Graney's office, Dr. Evil. No, actually he's upstairs. This is sales. These guys make all the money, marketing spends all the money. Look, man, you're like a supermodel. Yeah, so when you come in, they put your name on the bike. Usually on our online registration, we ask for what weight the people are, and then we set up the bikes to the basic settings before they get here, and then finish out the sag and rebound and all that before people go out on a ride. So that's kind of the tour. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you down at Sea Otter.